Hello, I'm Don Pfeffer and I'm with Team Portal Boys for Milestone 2. Straight into the way. Starting tutorial. As a player, I want a description example on how I play and properly maneuver the level, thus having a tutorial to instruct me how to play. Create an example of what enemies the player will face and how to kill them. So if we go ahead and get into our campaign 1, our level starts off with a campaign. So we have a kind of breakdown of everything. It gives all the controls here. So we kind of give some pointers here. Limited ammo, make it count. There's a trigger here that spawns the horde that someone play when the horde spawns in. Zombie weak but deadly. Fast ways quick, and then we got our basic zombie. So if we just go ahead and as we walk towards him. Oh, is our boomer. So there's that one. Give a text description of what keys they can use and what they do. So these are the basic controls. As we go over, we have a little bit of instructions on how to use everything. Touchdown card will trigger an alarm, explosion, ammo, whatnot. Creepy but strong. Here's our strong zombie. Have all the information needed to play. Show the different types of weapons the player can use, including the melee. Well, that was dependent on Jared's implementation of the inventory system, but he did not complete it. So all we have is the melee, which is listed off here as the. You got pipe bomb, Molotov, that kills you. And your boomer vial. Those are all the different weapons there. Give warning to the player when they hear the horde sound cue, warning them they will need to fight. So I went ahead and mute myself. So we got two different ones. So we got the car, which spawns the zombies, and then we have whenever this happens. So it gives a heads up saying there's a trigger here that spawns the horde. This sound will be played when the horde plays or spawns in the zombies. So we got those two, and the car alarm here. Next, have zombies spawn that the player has to kill to get the exit. So we have the two here, and then we have these few spawned in that the player has to kill to get to that portal right there. I believe we have to make it to the exit to proceed to the next level. Upon completion of the tutorial, the player will spawn into Jared's level. We'll go ahead and fight these zombies so that way you can. There we go. Spawn into Jared's level. Thank you for your time.
Hello, this is Matt Sweet, and I am part of Team Portal Boys, and this is Milestone number 2 review. Let me get in here real fast. So, the first test that I have here is the second campaign refinement. As the player, I would like to have multiple campaigns to choose from so that I can have more variety. So if we pull up this, we can see here we have 2 campaigns that are different. Alright. For the first subtask, refine the level select menu to have a secondary campaign. Obviously, campaign number 2. Subtask 2, capture thumbnail images from each level to add to the images on the level select menu. As you can see here, I did that. This one, for some reason, did not come through. I'm not 100% certain why, but I have all of the rest of them. Subtask number 3, add in text and a play button for the secondary campaign on the level select menu. So text and play button is here, campaign number 2, and we have a play button as well. Have the portals at the end of each level load into their corresponding levels. So this is something that I had to work with the other guys to go through. Essentially, when we get to the end of one level, it moves on to the next level in the progression of each campaign. And then the last subtask here is have the play button load into the tutorial level. So that's for campaign number 1. We were going to go with campaign 2, but we decided to switch it up a little bit. But just to show that it actually works here, play button here will load into this tutorial level. As you can see, that works. We'll go this way. And these are his different zombies. And essentially, you just gotta kill off all these guys. And the portal should load us into the construction area. As you can see, that is done. So let me escape out of here real fast. And so that's my second campaign refinement, pretty much taken care of. For my next subtask is subway level refinement. As the designer, I want the player to play in a cramped maze of subway cars so that they have to hone their close quarters fighting skills. As you can see here, my subway level, oh, it didn't change, should be this third level here. So I'm going to pause the recording, get into it, and then I'll get back with you. Give me just a moment. Okay, so got a little bit of an issue. When the build got put together, the barn portal for the campaign 2 first level did not get changed to load into the second level, to the corresponding level. I don't understand how. I forgot to follow up with my guys to make sure that they had changed their own levels. But so for my sewer level or subway level refinement, the next task, I'm just gonna have to show in the editor. If you'll give me just one moment, I'll be right back with you. Okay, so we are back. So like I said, I'm going to be doing this one from the editor just because the initial level in campaign number 2 is not loading into its corresponding level, but that's an issue to be taken care of another day. So let's hop into it here for the subway level. Let's get it to go ahead and play. And pop this bad boy on. Alright, so we got a cinematic overview here. Alright. Here we are. Whoop. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. Okay. Anywho's. So, subway level refinement. As the designer, I want the player to play in a cramped maze of subway cars, so they have to hone their close quarters fighting skills. Subtask number 1 is to add an entrance that visually looks like it would connect to the previous level in the campaign to add immersion to the level. So, pull her back up here. And this is our entrance here. Essentially, it's just like a normal subway with the stairs coming down on either side. The next subtask 2, add an exit that visually looks like it would connect to the next level. So we'll hop back in. Take care of some zombies real fast. Whoop. Get out of here, little dude. So we'll make our way over here. And having this amazing subway cars allows these zombies to sneak up on you. So we're getting out of there. And we do have to move this train car to get to the end. We can actually hop in front of it here. And essentially same thing. Just having two different staircases here to load us into the next level. And it loads us into the next one. So subtask number 3, replace the killable tracks with a movable piece of debris to allow the player to progress through the level. So if let me actually move this first person character real quick, just so he doesn't load right there. I don't know why he didn't move, but that is okay. Oh, on the wrong side. Let's just pull him out just a little bit here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to play. So my killable tracks I had wasn't really working correctly for me as far as dealing slow damage, and so I had a little bit of an issue with that. So actually I decided to just turn it essentially into a piece of debris, like a sheet metal, a piece of train, something that can just be moved out of the way. Essentially blocking the character's progression, but at the same time allowing something to take place. So it is here. You walk up on it, push E, makes it get out of the way. So that is that subtask. And for subtask 4, having lighter and darker areas to allow the player to use the flashlight mechanic. So essentially my entire level is like a dark level to allow the player to use the flashlight, but I do have a light switch near the beginning of the level that lightens up this first little area here. Let me take care of these initial zombies. So I can turn my light switch off right here, and I made the initial area kind of light as well. But push this, turns on a little light in this area. Just something to give the character a brief moment from having to use that flashlight consistently in this first spot. And then, I mean, for the most part, the level's dark enough to use the flashlight. So the player has the chance to actually use that mechanic, but you could shut it off and potentially still move around in here. Just makes them a little more difficult to see from far off. I think the light shirt kind of gives them away. Alright. For subtask number 4, have lighter and darker areas. I just showed that one. Subtask number 5 was to lower the number of enemies in certain areas and then raise the number of enemies in others to give the level like a mini boss fight at the end. So essentially, at the end of the level, it's actually a little more easier to show if I do it this way. These are all the plain zombies that I gave here. So you're encountering 4 or 5 zombies at a time, but then when you get to this last little bit, they're all like right there. They do tend to move around a little bit, so they may not stay in that immediate vicinity, but it does allow for a like a mini boss fight essentially, like a little mini horde. As you can see, they're moving around, getting all over the place. Right off the rip, I mean, you got a couple of zombies in here. For the most part, most of them you can get away from. The fast zombies are a little more difficult, but like this guy, coming up on you. Let's see if I can get over here to the end. Oops. Another fast zombie getting me. As you can see, they kind of all moved around in this immediate vicinity, but they're all still right here. If you're not careful, they will kill you. And I died. And then if you die, you load back up to the nearest checkpoint. Zombies come back. Gives you an opportunity to try and get through them again. So that's subtask number 5. Then subtask number 6 is essentially just adding in another train car behind the movable train car, so that the players cannot bypass the switch and finish the level. So essentially, right here, this train car wasn't there originally, so you were just kind of able to scoot into this little area and then just finish off the level. And I didn't want players to be able to do that. I want them to have to fight their way through. So we go through here, blocks off this little area, making it to where players can't get through there. And take care of this fast zombie. Take care of this fast zombie. Just allow me to get to the end here. Fast zombie's messing me up from behind here. Fast zombies aren't no joke. No joke. Alright, so we'll get over here. Kill off these couple of zombies right here. And then player can't get through. Well, yeah, I guess you could still kind of get through, but the idea is still there. If you're looking for ways of getting through, I suppose you really could, but you can actually just move the train car. The way I have it set up, I mean, you're not going to be going behind there. And push this guy, move that train car out of the way, and there we are at the exit. And that's got it. So that is my subtask number 6, adding in that train car. That is both of my tasks for Milestone 2. I do appreciate the time, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks.
Hello, I am Jared Gray. I am one of 4 members on the project team Stay for Alive. I would like to go through my tasks that I had this period before I move on, and they are as follows. First is the inventory system. As the player, I expect that I would have the ability to see what items I have in my inventory and change what I have equipped so that I may decide what actions to take with what items to use. This task has 5 subtasks. The first have items picked up in the level stored in an array and represented in the UI on the right side of the HUD. Task 2, have the primary and secondary weapons be selectable and changed with the same key press. 3, have the health item go into the inventory instead of immediately consumed. 4, have only one explosive item allowed in the inventory at a time. 5, have the explosive items have a finite amount in the inventory, requiring picking up more to replenish the inventory. This, as you can see, is not done, has not been completed. That is because of the need to rework every item and how integral aspects work in the game. I did not understand this before going in and did not properly assign proper subtasks for this. This also has shown me that we should have had an inventory system that fully truly worked in month 1. Task number 2, fix explosive tanks. As the player, I expect that the explosive barrels would deal radial damage and not simply destroy everything in the area, so that I don't just die immediately from the explosion. The 3 subtasks attributed to this is fix the damage of the tank to only deal a reasonable amount of damage. Fix the bug where the destructible wall rarely takes the damage by the explosion. Fix the issue where the explosion radius is persistent forever instead of dissipating after the explosion has finished. Task number 3, fix construction site portal. As the player, I would expect that I would open the exit door into a room so that I walk into it, I would be loaded into the next map level. Have the exit door of the construction site actually be able to open. Fix the bug that causes the exit area's collision box to break the wall of the big house. Fix the placement of where the horde spawner triggers so as to cause the spawn upon the player moving into the large square. I will go ahead and continue from here. I will bring this up periodically as we go. Starting from the build, here, we will level select and go to campaign 1. This is where my level is, and to get there I must go past the tutorial level. As you can see right here, the inventory does not function properly. I have the backpack and I have the right side of the screen. It is almost there, but everything is null because most of the items can't go into it and do not function properly. Here, of course, is my construction level. We go through here. Again, we have the item right here. You can see that this consistently will destroy this, but most importantly, I apparently do die. Okay. Well. Let's go go back here and actually turn that off. I don't know why. Okay. Next one is fix construction site portal. And I'll go, first one, the exit door actually be able to open. Fix the bug that causes the exit area's collision to break the wall of the big house. Fix the placement of where the hordes spawn triggers. Let's actually start this over. And we will. Alright, so we'll go ahead and go back here to level select. Go back here. Ignoring everything here, hopefully. If we can get past without too much interference. Okay. So you can see that the big door doesn't... Well, now the zombies... I guess it's actually intentional. The zombies still break it, but not the collision with the exit door. And that's at least productive. So one part of that task works, but the others does not. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and go past this defend point. Kill these guys. No, I'm not certain why that. But so now we'll go ahead and make certain that the horde spawns properly. Yep, and they do. So we'll go ahead and continue on just past here. It opens, and then you go through. Well, that does show, at least, that the construction side portal was fixed. But, while no one has... Oh, that one was the one. This is the one that wasn't working. I don't know why no one did that. I appear to be the only person testing other people's stuff. So, I guess that means that I didn't get either of these. Okay, that's my video.
Alright, hi, my name is Ryan Lee. I am part of the Portal Boys group. My thing for this go-around was to do the city level. It is getting rather late, and I have been stuck at 52% for an hour and a half, and I've tried stopping. The thing that is causing the issue to keep coming up was the build itself is just rather large, and my internet has just been not able to download this in time. So basically I'm going to go through this real quick. So with the city level, as a player, I want to have a vast open area, which is the city, to explore while still consistently challenging me with a vast amount of enemy zombies. Subtask 1. Create a level that has multiple buildings to explore that each have their own challenge to completely clear out. which I will show a little bit here. Create areas that can only be traversed through further means of exploration. Still going through and going to add more as well, but regardless, have this level be the last one of campaign 1 leading into campaign 2, which it does. Create parts of that level that will cause the player to have to play more carefully, with 4 stroke points that will take place in complete darkness, forcing the player to utilize the flashlight. And have the level have excessive amounts of enemies, forcing the player to explore to find more ammo and health resources in order to survive. So, due to CPU usage and everything, it was causing some issues, so I did have to lower the amount, but there's still a good decent amount of zombies. But either way, let's get into it. Yep, and then, so I just have to do this. Yep, so it's breaking. Some of the zombies are breaking. Yep. Here. Oh man, I can't turn that down. Sorry. 1 second, I will make sure I can make that a little bit quieter, because otherwise that's going to be too loud. Again, my apologies for this. I really tried to make this better. I would love to actually have done this in build, but it's okay. So the houses are simple. They work all so this is worked on in bug fixes. Alright, we have issues. So there's a checkpoint in there. But the houses are simple. I'm going to make this video as quick as I possibly can. This house is basically the same framework as this one. I'm going to be working through and adding some stuff to it. Milestone. And I died. Alright, so we started this checkpoint. I think raise the that goes up. Alright, cool, I can get into this one. This one's not causing any issues. So we're gonna make our way up. Oh man, wait. Does that not let me go up? A little oversight I did not expect. Okay, either way, some changes I'll have to fix. Normally that leads up into a couple of rooms that you have to traverse through. And then coming over here. It's mostly dark, so it's gonna force the character to have to use a flashlight. Because otherwise this is really hard to see. So these are all of our strongest enemies. Either way, for the sake of time, I'll just make my way through. So yeah, a couple buildings. Then this is like a store, but I have the portal to get out set out over here. This drops into the barn level, which was part of the last milestone. So that's that. Thank you very much, and again, I'm sorry that this had to be an editor, but believe me, I wanted to have this done with an actual build, but we'll have to go with this. Thank you.